Do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll start. No, start. Yeah, it'll take time.
You can start.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. How are you doing? Great. Hope you're doing great and having a wonderful day. So for today's session, we're going to have a lifestyle, and because it's Thursday, obviously. So we know about like some Western statistic, and we know there are many harm things happening in our society, and we're going to dig in and find out what's the problem. What's the problem with Western culture, and what's the problem with the people who go through wrong things. And so we want to see what is the lifestyle and what is the best lifestyle. So basically, and truly, we're going to have to see the real one and the greatest one, because Islam came from the God. So we think the best and has the great wisdom is God. So who can tell us what is the best lifestyle? Okay, so we go through some questions before we start, because we had this question the previous session, but because we were out of the time, I couldn't just ask you the question, and we just answered it so quickly. So now I'm going to ask you the question again and go through today's session. Okay, desirable lifestyle, what we want, what is the best. Is our current lifestyle desirable? Like, what do we want from a life? What do we want from our society? What do we want from people? Because we mentioned lifestyle includes everything, not just praying, not just treating your parents, it's including everything. So what is our current lifestyle desirable for each person? Do you like it or you don't like it, or you want something more? Anyone's going to answer that? Something more. What is that more? Great. Okay. Any other answers? Okay, what does desirable lifestyle based on? That could be correct. Any other answers? Great answers. Is lifestyle and culture of life same thing? Like, do you say our culture, for example, you heard it, like saying some people say our culture is shocking. Is it the lifestyle culture? Yeah, that's correct. Culture is like, in logic, they say is part of something. So culture is part of lifestyle, is influence lifestyle as well. Like it's something inside it. No, so they have a specific name for it. So when you translate it, it means like part of something. What if I want to say it's Arabic? So not need to say it. So yes, culture of lifestyle life, as she mentioned, is going to influence our lifestyle, but it's something part of that. Okay, the important thing in lifestyle is how we look at the life. Like when we say, what is the desirable thing when we want to leave, we should know how we look at that. The important thing is how we look at that. Like when you have a parent, how to treat them is important to see how you look at them, how you see them. You want to marry someone, how you see that person. Money, how do you see the money? For example, someone look at the money of solving everything. So all his life becomes looking for money. Someone is looking for money to, I don't know, to be great person, to be famous, to be celebrity, something like that. It's the way that we look at that money. Some people see it as a problem. So when you look at something and you have a point of view of that, obviously you're gonna try to get that in your point of view. For example, you have a parents, but you see them as someone who supports you. Probably 99% you're not gonna support your parents. They're gonna be disabled in their 100 years. So you say, they're not gonna support me anymore, so I'm not gonna support them. So you see them as a supportive thing. This is the way that we look at the life. You see a car to make you to go somewhere. The vehicle help you to do something faster. So how are you going to use that car? Just take it for your working, or you're not looking for something luxurious. You just take a car, and being good car, just be like comfortable. You just take it, buy it. But when you look at a car as a luxurious thing, probably you're not going to just buy something very simple. You're going to buy a luxurious car. You're going to pay more money. So the point of your view, the way that you look at the car makes you pay more money or less money. This is the way that you look. There are many things that when you just look at them, you just choose what you should do. Like going to the classes. What do I have to go to the classes? Just spending my time or to learn something? Like you see some people sit in the classes in your university, in like schools, they just sit and they just waste their time, maybe playing with the table, playing with themselves, playing with, I don't know, anything around themselves to just spend the time and just go back home. And the other people are exactly the opposite of them. Just want to, they take notes, they just listen carefully because of the point of view. Some people see the light. That's what we want to say. How do we see the life? Is it just something that we should spend it, or we should enjoy, have some joy inside in our life, or something more than that? Is it just for money, having money? So for example, if you see all the life in money, some people see that, like, I see a life as a money, so I should just have money. They're not going to have a good relation with their parents, not going to have a good relation with their, I don't know, husbands, wives, friends, anyone, because they see it just only in money. It's not just because of the money. Maybe if you see it in a car, maybe see it in to spend your time. If you just see it in one thing, that's going to happen. Like you cannot have all together. You're not going to have your parents while you just see it as a money or anything else. So the important thing in lifestyle is how we look at the life. Is it correct or acceptable to imitate in lifestyle? Like following someone, something. How? Okay, now you said yes.
As long as it was cooperating with the prophets, teachers, and good manners.
Okay, great. Do you have any answer for that?
Same.
Same. Following him. Imitate. Okay. About you? Like, okay, if you see, I'm going to tell you, imitating in lifestyle, first we should see how we should follow them. That's important. Not just seeing someone and then following them. Like we have a history that Prophet Muhammad was someone who had to pray all the nights, pray Salatul Layl. Can we follow that? Yeah, as a mustahab thing. It's good. But we have some riwayat that even Prophet Muhammad and his family were wearing some cheap clothes. So if someone see that and say, yeah, we should wear cheap. But when we just seek to the riwayats and the ahadith, we see even the Ahlul Bayt or Prophet and Sahabi, they say, this is us. We should wear like this, but not you. So at this point, just following without seeing, without having knowledge, take you to the darkness. Like we had some people were in Islam that they spend all the monies for Islam. So now we say, okay, now let me spend all my money. But when we just look at that, we see Prophet Muhammad ordered them to do that. It was order of God. It was something necessary for that. But right now, if you spend all your money for Islam, you lose everything. You're going to be a poor guy. You're going to live in a poverty. So this is the order of Islam? No. Like we had when all the Islam, like when they had a fight, when they had a war, they killed all the kuffar. So we say, yes, we had to kill the kuffar. But when we see there is no killing of the kuffar unless they attack Islamic. So imitating, blind imitating, if I say, blind imitating is dangerous. So we should take care what we're following, how. We should see all the ways, all the things around that. If they order to do something, we should see what was the position. We have many, many quotes about how to, about the Islamic medicines. But when we dig inside and look at those quotes and those ahadiths, we'll find that it was for that person, not for everyone. That person was sick, and for example, Prophet told them to eat that. So am I going to eat that? Not sure. That's what I'm saying. Blind imitate is dangerous. But imitate with someone who's great, who has the power, who has the knowledge is great. Nowadays, you can't say, I'm going to follow just like Elon Musk. Maybe his family was different. The way that his intelligence was different. You can learn something positive from him, but you can't say, I can just imitate him. Or anyone else in your life, if you see as a like a target, as a pattern. So blind imitate will kill you. No doubt, that's going to happen. I can't say I can imitate my father. It's impossible. And also my father can't say that. I'm going to imitate him. Different life, different position, everything is different. So, but we have general knowledge. We have general rules. We have general topics. We have everything, something in general of Islam that you should mix it with your life. You should compare it to your position. At that moment, you can just say, yes, it's going to happen. Yes, we have, if it is based on the values of individual or certain groups outside of our culture and society, then where do our values and type of perceptions of me as a human being come up? Like, if we just want to imitate people, like I say, for example, some celebrities in Instagram, I'm going to follow them, I'm going to imitate them, do what they all do. So where is my values? Do I have a value? Or I just should follow them? They go kill themselves. Should I do that? They just eat some bad things. I'm not going to say curse words. They eat bad things. Am I going to do that? For what reason? If someone is rich and drink alcohol, does it mean that I should do that? Should I drink it? No, of course not. Where is my value? So when the Islams came, Islam says, look at your wisdom, your brain, your thinking. You should think by yourself. If you want to accept me as Islam, as a Quran, first you should take your brain to think of it. Islam is not acceptable by itself. It will become acceptable in our life because we accept it in our brain, in our wisdom. So Islam gets its acceptableness from our wisdom, our brain. Why? Because Islam is saying more valuable things in our life is our wisdom. It's how we think. Because God gave us the differences, the most important thinking differences between me and animals and cattle is this, the brain that I have. They don't have it. Yeah. So where is my values when I just want to imitate, blind imitate? I'm not going to say all imitation. Blind, where is my values? So we have this answers. Okay. We have the levels of life. It's going to be next page. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, levels of life. So we said life. How we look at the life and what do we want from the life? How to make it desirable. First thing first, we should know what is the life. In general, not going to be specific. So companies are trying to sell their product, so they make us to choose what to wear and even the color of that, how to spend our free time or what to eat and etc. Like a company like Elon Musk company as a Tesla, they're gonna tell you that electric cars are important and more great, they are greater, they are more anything like comfortable, what? Yeah, eco-friendly, and it's luxury is gonna be make you look a rich person, something like that. Those things, buy it. Yeah, it gives you the prestige to buy that. They will make you to buy that. If you want to take a good photo, buy this phone. You want to write, buy this pen. If you want to wear something, wear this clothes. But what clothes? I don't know. So I'm going to make some fashion shows. You should see them. And who are those fashion shows? Some famous people. Now make you to buy that. What to eat? Fast food. If you want to enjoy, eat fast food. They make you to eat. They make you to wear. They make you to choose the color. They make you to do everything. To get this lifestyle, we're gonna benefits them because of the money, the currency. So they make you to do that. How? They're gonna force you? No. They're gonna show it on the social media. They're gonna show on television. You're gonna see it everywhere. So when you see your friends having iPhone, if you don't have a strong soul, if you don't have a strong spirit, you're gonna just say, okay, I'm gonna buy that. For what reason? Do you need it actually? Maybe it's yes, maybe no. If it is not, why should I buy it? Do I need to wear those clothes? Do I need to wear those costumes? Maybe no. Why do I have, for example, buy that hat? Why do I have to wear that trousers? Why do I have to wear that shoes? For what reason? When you check, I had a friend, he told me that I have more than 20 shoes and 15 trainers. Like 31 if you just included like shoes. 15 trainers like sneakers and 20 shoes. So what reason would you want it? Where do you want to go? Who are you? Yeah, I was collecting for what reason? You see, this is the influence of social media. What reason? It's interesting. Yeah, you have money, you want to spend it. It's okay. But we want to ask ourselves why. Is it a bad thing? I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm going to say dig to see the light, how it influences us. Sometimes we don't have any choice. We should buy that. When you see people like marking you, like they want to make fun of you. So you have to buy that. You have no other choice. Like everyone's going to university, but you're a rich person. You don't need anything to study. You are a businessman, for example. But when you see everyone's going to university and they study, and if someone's not studying anything, they're going to insult them, they're going to humiliate them. So you say, oh, I'm going to university. Why not? I have to go and learn something, even if it's not going to help me, even if it's not helpful for me. I'm going to go to university because of the influence of the life. Okay, we can point 3 levels of life that is connected to lifestyle. 2 levels. A structural level. Everyone can see the similarities and the differences between countries, societies, and cultures. Like we have a structure, like the basic one in every countries, every society, every culture has one base of things, one structure. So that structure is completely, you can see it, the differences between Indonesia and China, for example. The difference between Indonesia and Australia. It's very general. It's very obvious. The another one is position level. It speaks of the position of each person in a structural level in society. It speaks like now we got one was structural, the society, the country, the culture. We go another thing more is at the person in that structure, in that base. What is it? For example, I'm a president. That means my position. Another thing, I'm just a labor, or I'm just a co-worker. I'm working as an IT. I'm a doctor. This is my position. So this is the first one was structure, the basic one, the position level, and individual levels, the third one. So was the first one society, the person in the society, and the person individually. Everyone, yes, next page, sorry. Everyone has a specific lifestyle and has a connection to other people and society, how they face the life and handle it. As a person, in my personality, how do I look? What do I want? How do I live and how do I think? How do I study is different with you. Maybe you are a doctor, I'm a doctor too. The same position in the society. Same position, same university, same everything the same. But individually, I'm different with you. Everything in mine is different. For example, someone asked my teacher that, why do you say women's and men's are not the same? He said, I'm not saying they're not the same. They're the same in humanity. That's true. But I have a hand and my hand has a finger. In one hand, in me, I have fingers, 5 fingers. Are they the same? 5 fingers. They're not the same. So we're not saying someone is in a second class or someone is in first class. What we're saying is the differences. We have the differences. We can say the humanity to saying that's a human being, that's correct, they are the same. But when we want to say, are they actually the same at everything? We can't say that. You cannot ask, you cannot expect of a woman to do like go into the war or go stand on the big buildings and clean them. You cannot expect that woman to do that. You cannot expect women to do heavy things, harsh things. It's usually men's things to do. Usually it's going to be very hard for men to work at home. They cannot do that. or you see women do it easily? You see women can save money, but men cannot save money. They're going to always waste their money, men. You know, that's why sometimes they say get married, because you can save your money. Usually people say if you want to waste money, get married, but that's not correct. Women usually collect the money. So you're going to keep it safe like a bank. So this is the differences. When you see the differences, you're not going to say, yes, I just want to, it's not a populist things. They're not the same. Everything in this world is not the same. The position might be the same, but when you see it individually, it's not the same. I've gone to a same university with you. We studied both medicine. We graduated after 12 years, for example. We got all the degrees that we needed. And now we both are famous, popular doctors. But one of us is better. Maybe you are the better. Why? Maybe it's because someone is more smart. Someone is smarter. Someone studied harder than me. Someone is is genetic to do those things. The difference is individually going to be the difference. In these three levels, we have two styles in common. All is this static. The style of each social class is considered apart from its constant change and the interventions of the styles of other classes. Something is static, someone is stable. All is the same. Like if you want to look at them, like we have something there, considering not considering all the things changing. You have a culture. Some of your culture is stable. It's just every time you're going to have that. Like since you had the Indonesia, you have it till now. For example, Indonesian people are more respectful than other countries. They are kind people. This is always for everyone. When you see good Indonesians, they say they are kind. They respect everyone. This is stable. This is static. We have another one, dynamic. The flow of style and social classes is examined in terms of their internal developments and mutual relations. It's going to be changeable. Influence from outside, it changes. Your culture, your habits, it has changed. But you as you never changed. You didn't have a revolution inside you that makes people say you're not that person before we've met. Like anybody, when they see me, they say, this is the Reza. He's the same one. But he has changeable things around himself. So that's the dynamic. So all of this is the common. Like when you see the structural, when we see the position, when we see the individual levels, we find out they has like something that's static and one of them are dynamic. It's going to be changeable. Now we want to go to the next page for purpose of life. Yeah, can you go to the next? Sorry. So now we want to see the purpose of life. The reason. Why? The end of it. First, we should know four things. Life. What do we want of life? The way we look at the life that we just mentioned before, and the way life look at us. To get through these topics, we should answer this question. Firstly, okay, what is the life? That's a good answer. Vision. Do you have anything? How do you see the life? What does it mean to you? Second purpose, okay? Maybe like say Reza says life is money. Yes, exactly. We say it's a car, it's a marriage and making families. So the life means that. Like when you see some people that are very kind, that's the way that life means to them. Some angry people, why they're angry is the reason that what they how they mean their life for them. Meaning for everyone, change everything. You see it something for your akhirat, for your another world, makes it hard for you because you're gonna pray every time. Where you're gonna look at when you go to Google, the first thing you're gonna, for example, you're gonna Google is graveyard. You're gonna Google and see how people are dying. This is how it influences you. You see that maybe they are crying every time. For example, I'm just saying examples. Why? Because this is how life means to them. Some people, when they suicide, they committed the suicide. You ask them why, you see the meaning of the life for them. So life has many meanings for everyone. What do we want of life? Successful life. What does a successful life means?
Successful life means live in this life for good and reach happiness in the hereafter.
Which happiness?
Balance between humans and God.
Balances. Okay, great.
Same thing, I'm still confused.
Okay, so same with those two or one of them? Okay, no, that's all right. What do we want of life? Peacefulness. Okay, what do you mean by peacefulness?
Basically, being peaceful, not being about actual, just
So you say, like, even if you live in a countryside, is it okay for you? No car, living with animals, no stress. Out of what? You have what? Oh, okay. That's great, great. Okay, the way we look at the life, just mentioned that. Okay, you go through the next one. The way life look at us. How do you see the life? Look at you. Like dangerous, something gonna. Okay, great. Does the life like you? Not really, not really. Okay, got it. Do you have any answer? Complicated. Okay. What? What is that? Tough. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yes, tough. Gonna harm you, gonna hurt you, right? It's gonna be dangerous. Life is always dangerous. Okay, you just went out. So, okay, I'm gonna speak about that. It's some questions, and it's just questions, so no need. So I'll just say it, and then you're gonna again answer that. We're going to the topic, so it's not necessary. We'll come back and show you. Secondly, we should answer these three following questions as well. Does the life have a purpose, or should we make it? Purpose. What is that purpose?
Purpose is to gain goodness.
Goodness. Okay.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, grace. Purpose of life is wisdom. To worship God. That's a great one. You didn't answer that. Okay. To be happy. You. Does the life have a purpose, or should we make it? Should make it. Sometimes it's pointless. Not just life. Everything can be pointless. For example, your studies. can be pointless, but you make a reason for that. When you do something like as a me, someone asks me, what are you doing there? If I say for no reason, they're going to say you're stupid, right? So I make a point for that. Say I'm not stupid. So I'm clever. For making that, I just come up with something. Sometimes I have nothing to do. I'm free at all. So I do something to show people I'm not, for example, free. I'm not jobless, for example. I'm not on my holiday. I do something to make a purpose. For example, some people say, your life become pointless. What are you going to do? They say, for example, marry. Why is that for? Because you're going to work hard for your wife, for your husband. You have some purpose in your life to work for that, to fight for that. You have a kid, fight for your kid. You have a brother, fight for that. So purpose of life, like I'm sitting here, maybe if I don't make a purpose for myself, I have nothing. Like I make purpose, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I want to go on holidays to other countries, for example, go to abroad. Many of these things, I'll make something, so I work for that. Sometimes it's like that. But when we want to say the basic of life, the purpose of life, the reason that is made, we should see what God said to us. Who created? Like when you make this phone, I made it, for example. So I say the purpose of this phone is taking photo, making phone calls, and using it as for social medias. I tell you, you say, no, I use it as a hammer. I want to just, or maybe as a tool to kill someone. It's you, but the person who made it can say the exact purpose of that. So who made this world? Obviously God can tell us. Who am I going to ask? How am I going to ask the God? Me? No, I'm going to ask the prophet. I'm going to ask those who know the God. So what is the purpose? We're going to get through that later. Who is responsible for purpose of life, me or God? God? Yeah, let me just say, should I make a purpose or it's made? It's actually made. What? Sorry, it's made. And
We have to look
for the purpose.
the purpose of that.
Okay. Anyone else?
Our friend in Zoom, you can also join us to discuss this topic, the purpose of life. Does the life have a purpose or should we have it? You can open the mic or write in the chat room.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me introduce myself. I'm Purwanto.
May you open the camera, sir?
Oh, camera share. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. My introduce myself. I'm Purwanto. I'd like to respond to the question. In my opinion, that the purpose of life it depends on the person. Everybody has a different angle, different perspective about the purpose of life. But among those purposes, actually there is a standard. What is the standard? As Islam, as a Muslim, of course, based on the what directed by Al Quran and Hadith and Sunnah. I think this is my perspective. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a great answer. It has a standard. Sorry, we didn't have your face before, at the beginning. Now we have you. And yes, that's right. The standard is from Quran and the Sunnah. And so what is that? So you said the standard. What is that standard?
Standard mean the thing that already mentioned by God, by Allah itself. So in Arabic, probably many people say, Inna khalaqtul jinna wal insa illa liya'budun. This is the purpose of life, actually. How to be, yeah, how do you say, to,
Worship God, right?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Well done. That was one of the wonderful answers. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Anything you want to add?
Not yet, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah, as he mentioned, it has a standard. What is that standard? Quran and Sunnah. You said that it's made of the purpose of life is already made. Everyone mentioned that actually, and everyone has some purpose for themselves. So the basic one, the general one, is the standard one. But when we see the life, we're going to go through that. We're going to say all of it. If you find that even the money is the purpose of that when God said, even the money. That many people, he said, do not look for money, but actually money is also asked from the God. Money as well. Making a family. Like I want to, for example, have a kids. That's also from God. That purpose also came from God. So what purposes are not from God? Maybe to build an empire. In any way. So that might be not the God's purpose. But what we actually quite like we mentioned, the purpose of life is quite like to value ourselves. One of the purpose, the greatest purpose, because we have a soul. That soul is greater than anything. That soul should be great. How that soul, I told you for a few sessions ago, that we all value other things, like a gold become valuable from us. I want to buy a gold, so that person's also want to buy a gold. It makes that valuable. This is how the gold become valuable. But if we don't look at them, we don't like it, we don't want to buy that, it's become less. So how are we going to value ourselves? That's the important thing. Now we want to look at something else. We are close to Imam Hussein's birthday for tomorrow. Now we know he was murdered by people in Karbala. One of the reasons that they say for Imam Hussein that went through Karbala was to stand against kuffar, to stand to, many reasons, to show the salat, to show we should pray even in the dangerous times. They say to show people this is not Islam, the real Islam, those people who have it. So they are making many, many purposes, but there are two more purposes in Imam Hussein's, for example, revolution. One of it was for those people who attended that Karbala. They couldn't reach that position that they got from Imam Hussein by doing it by themselves. They couldn't reach that position. By praying, by, I don't know, crying to God, they couldn't. Those people had a very valuable souls. They couldn't reach that. So how they could reach that position, how could they just go through that way and reach God? It was the way that they come to Karbala and die at that way. This is the Imam Hussein to take those people from, there are, for example, I'm just making examples, they are in level 3, level 5, but the actual value is level 10. So Imam Hussein took them and just put to them the level 10. The other value of that was people can see it from at that moment till now. Like we say, those people who were drunk, who stand against the Prophet Muhammad, who hated the Ahlul Bayt, who hated Islam, this is the real actual they face. They kill even innocent kids. Even if Imam Hussein says, I'm not gonna fight with you. This kid is gonna die, even if you just give them a water, but give him. They're gonna kill it. Why? This is the face of them. Now you can cry, you can just remember, Mom says sometimes, even with those things, you remind yourself that why should I do the sins? We have a lot of things, like from Mom saying, we got many things that helps us to reach God. Some riwayat says, if Imam Hussein wasn't there, some of those pagans people would stop Islam and destroy all Islam. But how they stopped? Because when Imam Hussein died, was murdered, people stopped following those people. People start to think why he killed Imam Hussein. They're standing against him. So what they said, we want that Imam Hussein. So he stopped those people who were trying to destroy Islam. So one the other purpose. So sometimes when we say the purpose, we should like look at very general. Like when you're going to say something, do not see in front of your feet. See like the distances, see the long ways. Say something very far. When you want to buy something, when you want to do something, you should do not see at the right moment. Some people say leave at the moment, but that's not correct. Thank you. Yes, that's true. Drinking will bring you joyful, right, Julne? You might be enjoy everything. But look at 10 minutes later, look at tomorrow. They're going to harm you. Maybe you say, I want to kill someone. That makes me powerful. But for what reason? It makes you a monster. What I'm going to try to say, the purpose, as you all mentioned, it's made. And also, it has a standard for the life. And that purpose should guide you through the lightness, not the dark. Okay, what is the best for me, and who can tell me that? Because we are lack of the time, I'm not gonna question that. So yes, probably you're gonna say prophet, maybe you're gonna say the Ahlul Bayt, God, something like that. Also, we can mention those who have experience, like your father has experience in something, gonna give you the experience. Could be true. For example, some people have the knowledge. You're not gonna say, I'm gonna learn math for myself. You're gonna have a teacher who is well experienced, who is well knowledgeable. You're gonna learn from them. They can say, sometimes help you, those who have experience, those who have the knowledge, they're going to help you. For example, you are a doctor, and you have to spend your time in medicine. You can't study Islam. You don't have the time. So it's not necessary for you to look all the books. Sometimes it's just listening. Those who are knowledgeable. Those who, sometimes you can ask for people, I'm looking for that. What is the good book for that? What's the good speech for that? It might help you. It's easy for them to find something for you. Then you just go seek for that. Okay. The purpose of life is raising human value to get close to God. According to this, life is a tool that human being finds himself. Like you mentioned that. It is necessary to say our behavior and lifestyle is related to how we see the life. Each purpose that we choose for life, we will live like that. You have a purpose, it's like money. It's influencing your life. So you're going to live like someone who's looking for the money. My lifestyle is different with you because we have a different purposes. We should have a goal and have faith, because without faith, there is no progress. If you're not going to have a faith on what you're doing, you're not going to have a progress. You're not going to achieve that. I believe I can get that score like 100. in my study. If you don't believe it, maybe you're not going to study. But you say, I'm not a clever one. I'm not a smart person. I'm not a good student. Maybe I'm not going to pass that exam. So what you're going to do, you're not going to pass it. But if you believe it, if you have the faith is actually for the God. What I'm just saying, to believe it. So what is it? You're going to pass that exam. So believing, having faith is going to help you. Even those who were standing against God. Some countries, those people who are killing the other peoples, if they have faith, if they are believing themselves, they're going to win. They're going to achieve what they want. If you don't, you're going to lose. There are many, many things happened that Muslim people defeated by some pagans. Why was that for? Because they didn't have the faith. That comes. Living in an ideal life, including everything, cannot happen unless with change. If you don't make a change, it's not going to be ideal. For example, now I have this phone. The way that I lived, I have this phone. If I want to get a better phone, I should change myself. Because the way that I'm living, I just could get this one. If I want to get iPhone 14 Pro Max, I need to change my lifestyle. I need to, for example, change my job to get higher salary to get that iPhone. If I want to be someone athlete, I should go to gym. By sitting here and just watching some athletes, those who are great, those bodybuilding people, those who have a very good bodies, I'm not going to get that body as well. I should change my lifestyle. And what is that? To go to the gym, for example. If I want to reach the God, I can't sit here and reach it. I should go and pray. I should treat the people good. If I want to respect, I should earn it. It's not going to happen. You're not going to respect me for nothing. Maybe in one side, when you see me, nobody's going to hurt someone or just humiliate someone. But after we're living together, when we see each other more than one time, so that's the time that you're going to say, if I earn that respect, you're going to respect me. But if I didn't, you're not going to respect me. If I make bad jokes, you're going to do that the same as against me. I'm not going to say, no, why you did that? Why you said that? Because I did it. So change will make the life true. Make it the ideal thing that you want. Without a change, you're not going to earn anything. Someone is sitting here or doing nothing is not going to be a breach person. Nothing is going to help you. You should look for it. By sitting here, you're not going to be a knowledgeable person. You should study. Okay. The nature of change. What's the basic thing of change? What does change means? The actual change, what does it mean? Where does it start? When you want to have a change, when should we start it? There is two important things to change lifestyle: cognition and correction. Cognition means recognizing that, recognition, to know what is that. For example, obviously for both, it's necessary to have courage. That's okay, let's finish that. Okay, now, recognition, to know something, it's important to change. I don't know, I'm not going to accept that this phone has a problem. I'm not going to take it to fix it. I'm not going to admit that I'm not knowledgeable. I'm going to just say I'm knowledgeable. So when I don't admit that, when I don't know that I have it, I'm not going to change myself because I don't believe it. I'm not a good football player. I'm not Cristiano. So when I believe that I'm not that, when I know it, I'm going to try hard. I'm going to exercise hard to be like him, to be that. But if I don't believe it, no, not going to happen. First thing, to know myself. very important. But I don't know what's the problem inside me. What is wrong inside me? I'm not going to change it. The second thing is correction. To correct it. When we not correct that, yeah, I admit that I'm not knowledgeable. Will you go to university? Will you go to school? Will you go to read books? No, I'm not going to do that. So the change is not going to happen. For both of this going to happen, you need courage. Okay, change. The first one we said cognition. Cognition is based on two axes. Firstly, self-knowledge, as I mentioned. Man arafa nafsa faqad arafa rabbah. I should know myself. Even it's that important that if you know yourself, you're going to know God. What is that? If you see your problems, if you see what is your fault, what your weaknesses, you're going to improve it. You're going to make yourself greater. So this is one. And another one is knowing the thoughts based on Islam. The thoughts. So we know that this world is not pointless or without purpose. أَفَحَسَبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا? Do you think that you have no reason that you are created? Is it what you think? So the first thing, you should know yourself. And second thing, you should know the usul al-aqaid, the fiqh, all of these. That's the way that you can fix yourself. If I want to fix this, I know it has a problem, but when I don't have the tools, I can't fix it. I want to be a bodybuilder. When I don't have a dumbbell, I can't be. So I need the tools. What are the tools? Is Islam. To fix myself, the correct. Okay, correction. When you correct your problems and your faults, when you will find peace according to Imam Sadiq. How is that become? Like when you have a problem, when you have a fault, you can find a peace according to Imam Sadiq, that Imam Sadiq says, I didn't bring the hadith. I should bring it, sorry. Next time I'll just bring it. I'll write it down. Imam Sadiq said, if I know there is God that sees me, I'll behave rightly. If I know everything that's come to this world is for someone, I'm not going to be just punishing myself to not have it. I know everything's come like money, salary. Everyone has the same for themselves. So I'm not going to be worried about that. If I know, if I want to achieve something, I should work hard, I go for work hard. All of these things make me to become calm, to find a peace. When I know it, and when I go for fixing it, like I know God is gonna benefit people, gonna help people. So I'm gonna fix myself to not looking for others' money. I'm not gonna rob a bank because I believe this is enough for me. This is what gave me. So when I believe in it, I'm gonna fix myself from grabbing a bank. This is one of the reasons. So if someone changes himself and does the right thing, will achieve a true life and God's reward. So it's the only way that you get the reward. As we mentioned, it's not, sometimes it's got reward. Why? Because I taught you like the hell is not something that God made it by himself and punishing you. It's something that we make it. Like putting a knife in your heart, it's not something that God did it. It's you. So a hell is something that you make it. So the question was, if someone asks you that, does God gonna punish everyone in the world because they're not Muslims? Like 3 billion people don't believe in God. God's not going to punish them. They're going to punish themselves. They're going to make it for themselves. That for example, if I do not go to bathroom, I'm going to be a smelly. That smelly is the cause of me. Why I did not going to the bathroom. The good smells come from what I did. I got to the bathroom and just washed myself. So the reward is what I make it. And the punishment is what I make it as well. God's not going to punish you. But in the rewards, when we say the heaven, or we're going to go to the heaven, we say, this is not what we deserve. Most of it is not what we deserve. We have many riwayats that we don't deserve what God's giving us. It's more, it's less than that, but God gave us more. That's the reward. But the other things, we're going to say what we did, what we made. Okay, the third one we said is courage, not scared of anyone and anything to face, believing in right and stand against the wrong. So when you see everyone is like doing the wrong thing, you shouldn't be scared of it. Go through that and stand against that. So this is all we said, and the class are just past 5 minutes past 6. Just wanted to finish it quickly. Yeah, okay. We're going to talk about that later in our next session, because if I want to speak, I have many riwayat and hadiths I wanted to speak about this, but I think it's going to take time. But I'm going to say a riwayat about the correction. When you say you want to change, have a revolution, you should see one of the greatest is the self-sacrifice, according to Imam Ali's riwayah. It says the best form of kindness is self-sacrifice. The best form of kindness is self-sacrifice. This is in Qararul Hakam. If you want to get the kindness, the great things, sacrifice. You find it in who? Your father, your mom, maybe your husband, your wife. A kid will see it in his parents, right? That's a self-sacrifice for a greater purpose. When you don't see yourself, you see your child. I'm living this world, but I don't see myself. I don't see this laptop. I don't see this phone. I don't see this money. I just see the God. It's a great one. And we have another riwayat in Qararul Hakam says the best person is who benefits people. It's also in the Qararul Hakam. So if someone wants to become the great person, want to be the good person, it should be the one who benefits people. If I benefit you, you'll be the great. I'll be the great, sorry. If he's benefiting us for recording this class, for making this computer fixed and just benefiting the other people, because they can see the riwayats. Many riwayats we said today. So he benefits people. He benefits by, for example, remembering that, writing that, and telling the other people. There's benefit. So the best person is who benefits people. So for changing is something that you become someone who benefits people. To have the self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice, some people say just to kill themselves. No, it's not like that. To go to the war and make yourself to be dead. No, it's not like that. Self-sacrifice sometimes is just lending the money, helping some people with the money, sometimes helping them with the knowledge, with their studies, sometimes is just give you your experience. That's a self-sacrifice. Sometimes it's great. It has levels, that self-sacrifice. Okay, for today I think is okay. And it's like 10 past 6. Thank you very much for coming and attending this class, this session. We're gonna have the next session in next Thursday. If nothing's happened, no problems, nothing. Okay, we're gonna have it in next session. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to hear that.
Okay, we invite our friends in ICC class offline and in Zoom. If you have any question or opinion or respond to this material, you can join in our discussion with by open your mic and or write something in room chat. And our friend in the class, any question? Mr. Adi or Mr. Laude Saleh, Laude Hussein. Maybe the first thing, sir, for when we do correction, what kind of tool we use? If we assume we can know our purpose by ourselves, so what tool we use to do maybe to do the correction, to know our purpose? Is it enough by our calm heart, or we should use our al-aql?
Mhm.
So which one we use? What tool we use for know our purpose and we do our correction?
Okay, is it a question for someone, or is it yours?
From me.
Oh, from you. Okay. Yes, we have some general tools, and for every special purpose and there's special things that happen, a specific one, we have a specific tools. So what if you want to say in general, we should use the brain, the aql, and our heart, because both can each cannot be enough for your do what you want to do. For example, if you want to just use your heart, it's going to be just emotional things. Like for example, how heart works. It's very popular that says women are very emotional than men. Like what they gave always this example that if a kid is drowning in a river, that mom's not going to think what's going to face him. So she's just going to get through that water and save her child. But usually men think, how am I going to save that kid? Should I get the help? So brain, not going to use the emotions. So sometimes I'm going to say emotions with brain, with wisdom, with thinking is going to help you, not in individual thing. So heart's not going to be good at the same time like when it's brain. So both together is great. When you want to say Islam is mostly has many emotional things, but how we accept it is with our brain. Just because we understand it, we just believed it. So the tools are going to be always brain and the heart. And what are the things that are going to help us? It's going to be the Islam, it's going to be the Quran, and the sunnahs that are tafsir on the Quran. So the tool is going to be the Quran by using from the brain and our hearts. So this is going to be the tools for everything. But if you want to say specifically in what gonna need, everything has a specific tools. For example, if you want to, I don't have any example right now. Sorry.
So to now identify we are in the right track, in the right way. How to know this one?
How to know that we are in the right
Yeah.
place? The right place is going to be have a, like, what do you say? You should just measure that to see if it's in the right. And how we should measure that, it's with the ahadith and the Quran. And sometimes it's not going to be you looking for that, is you can ask people. You can see what is the good thing. We have like something you can measure yourself, your life. For example, in the material life, when you are broke, when you don't have money, means you're not in the right place. Another way, when you pray, you feel the right. When you see your soul is free, when you see that you're not going to insult anyone, you're not humiliate people, when you are kind, this is the right place. You feel it by yourself and your brain. And you can just measure it with the Islam, how it's close to the Islam. For example, I say, I want happiness for other people. So, yeah, that's a great thing. But some people say, yes, you can drink. You can do whatever you want. You have the freedom. So is that true? I'm going to measure that with Islam. Does Islam allow that or not? I'm going to support my kids. Or my kids should just support himself. I checked Islam, I measure that. See, yeah, Islam says to support your kids. This came from Islam. So when you measure that and you compare it to Islam, you find the real answer. What is the right place? Am I in the right place or not? When you see it's going to reach the God, I'm doing something for God. I'm doing something for Islam. For example, you're making this station, you're having this class. Is it for Islam? Yeah, it is for Islam. So it benefits people from the Islam because it's going to change, for example, their life. So is it, I'm in the right place? You say, yes, I'm in the right place. Can I go to do something greater? That will be more benefit, that has more benefits, that will be that right place. But there is no changeable in right things. It has a levels. For example, someone helped me with just 10,000 rupiah. That's good. That's right thing. I needed 10,000 rupiah and he helped me. Someone helps me with like 20,000 rupiah. That's also the right, but better. So being in the right place, usually you just measure it with Islam. You should measure it with your heart as well. You feel it. When I feel it, I'm in the right place. When you pray, you feel that you prayed and you feel something your soul is going up. You feel the relief. So yeah, that's the time that you find out that you are in the right place or not.
Any questions, sir, from Zoom?
Yeah, one question. Okay, Mr. I'd like to ask you.
Can you open the video?
Okay, one question, sir. I'd like to know more about like, as we know that in history or probably in life, that we can see there are people that very benefit for many people. For example, in history we can see Thomas Alva Edison. For example, he invented electricity. That then electricity is very advantage for life until today. But the problem, suppose Thomas Alva Edison is not Muslim. How do you see about this kind of person? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. We actually spoke about like that in our previous sessions, but it wasn't enough. So good for asking that again. It's very great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, someone like what we said. What is the real thing that we should believe and benefits us is to having the God. When God says, I created this world, and you should follow the orders. The orders is not just made by me, it's made by a real knowledge, a wisdom. For example, mathematics. 2 + 2 always is 5. It's full of knowledge. So this world is like based on a knowledge. The sun has a purpose, this world has a purpose, all galaxy, all planets has a purpose. And we know, for example, drinking is gonna hurt us, gonna harm us. So when we drink, it's us, we doing hurting ourselves, we have a problem. And now for other reasons, someone benefits people. So we know someone is doing wrong things, gonna get punished. But someone benefits people, like Thomas Edison. How about him? We're gonna say, if he did it for God, for something, not just for himself, some people might say, I did it for myself. For example, I did it to get salary. I did it to get money. I did it to be rich. But now everyone is using that. But some people may be like, I want to say Thomas Edison. He did it for God, for people, to be living a comfortable. So is he going to get rewarded from that? According to Riwayat and Quran, yes, he's going to get reward. But is he going to live in a heaven? That's the things that people speak about it. Yeah, the heaven is only for those who believe in God, truly believe in God. If you never heard of God or the real religion, you don't have a problem. We have another riwayah that says God will again in another world gonna test them. It's not gonna be just this world. You're gonna send them another world, gonna become the and other things and other messengers, gonna test them to see are they going to be the good one or not. So everyone's gonna be tested, and everyone should have the right things. So then the heavens will be for those who accepted the right, and the hell will be for those people who didn't accept the right thing from the God. Some people as well say the reward, where should it be? Is it going to be another world or should it be here? Like some people, we know that when they put us in a grave, we have some people have azabul qabr, gonna be punished in the grave. I did a good thing. I'm not a Muslim, but for that good things, God's not gonna punish me. I'm a Muslim. I believe in God, and God said, if you do these things, you're gonna get punished in the grave. I'm gonna get the punish. So everything that you did right, and you did your benefits people, and you're gonna get the rewards, because we have the adalat. We're gonna speak it in our Islamic thought. So with that things, Thomas Edison is not gonna be without the rewards. The rewards are gonna be higher than what he thinks if he did it for God, for the benefits of the people. So that's the thing. But going to the heaven and going to the hell, that people are gonna live forever, that's what we had in according to Quran from the Ahadith. It should be someone who accepted the right, accepted the religion, the rules, the way that God said. So standing against that, for example, I did the good things, but I don't believe in God. I don't believe what he says. I'm going to stand against God. Like he says, okay, become a Muslim. I say, no, I'm going to say, no, I'm going to be atheist. Be Christian. I say, no, I don't want to be a Christian. I want to be some other religion. So when you are standing against God, why God should give you the heaven? Why should God give you the hell? Then you're standing against him. I tell you to do this thing, you get $1,000. And you say, no, I don't want to do that. So why should I give you the $1,000? But you don't want to do it. So to sum up what I said, yes. Firstly, heaven and hell will be for those people who are tested actually, and they had all the things. So they're going to be tested. Secondly, every good things that you did or every bad things you did, it doesn't matter either if you are Muslim or you're a pagan or any other religions. Doesn't matter. You're going to get reward or you're going to get the punishment for what you did. If I'm going to kill someone, if I'm a Muslim and I'm a true believer, I'm going to get the punishments. It doesn't matter if I'm a Muslim or not. If I help some people, if I'm a Christian, that we have in many riwayats that we see it in Prophet life, that he helped even the Jews people, Judaism people, help Christians people, help many other people without asking people for become a Muslim, going to get the reward. That's the answers.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
In our class, any question?
Yeah.
What's the aspect? The death.
Yes.
And if they were a bad person, are they going to change or they just the same?
We don't have that everyone's going to come back. Not everyone. Sometimes it's a specific one. Sometimes those people who wanted to come back, who really tried to come back. Sometimes we have a riwayah that says, God's going to ask people, would you like to come back to this world and live in the world that I'm going to make? Some people say, no, I'm okay with this place that I'm living. So the bad people, according to those riwayah, that they come back, is always going to be the punishment. According to that, no, they're not going to change. We're going to live unlimited in like heaven and hell. They ask Imam Sadaq why? Why should we live unlimited? We did limited things in here, but why we should get reward or get punishment unlimited? Imam Sadiq answered because we gonna do it the same if we have an unlimited time. God's gonna give you enough time to see what you're gonna do. Like 70 years, I did it for 70 years. I was a bad person. I'm gonna continue that. So that life gonna be unlimited. You were a good person, you're gonna get the reward unlimited. Because you're going to continue, you had enough time to show, are you going to change or not?
Like, I'll
Yeah,
change.
yes, exactly. You get the calm, yeah, you get the time. If you change, yes, it's if you get the reward. If you don't, no.
What Christian do? If they go to heaven or hell, will they get the punishment from Allah because they didn't change their religion to Islam?
According to Islam, if they heard about Islam, if they heard about the real sect of Islam, the real thing of Islam, yes.
They will go to hell.
If they were, yeah. We have some people, like in one of the riwayah, if not mistaken, sometimes those Christians, those Jews have done something very great, the level that God cannot measure that in of the goodness. So there is an exception for that. Gonna benefit them, gonna make them maybe go to the heaven. Some riwayat says that some people were good people, but they didn't believe in God. They were very great, but some problems, maybe because influence of the friends, the society, they were bad people. They didn't believe in God, so not bad. They were good in all entire life. So God, we have some reward that says even they're going to get tested again in another world again to see, are they going to change again or not?
In another word, is it in the hereafter or another life?
Not another life, yeah. 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 All right. Sure. Speak.
We're going to learn about lifestyles according to Islamic point of view or according to the perspective or by this question based on the background of fact that, as you know, the lifestyle nowadays is confused. And according to many teachers on this one, we have already asked for advice, say that it's not correct, that it's not Islam thoroughly. So we're gonna learn about it in the next future.
Yes. For these sessions, because just gonna know about in general things, the lifestyle. What is actually the life? What is the lifestyle? There could be an introduction about that. Then we're gonna have all the pure lifestyle according to Islam, not my perspective. All is in Islam. Like I'm not gonna say what do I think about to do that. I'm just gonna bring the riwayat, the ayah, or what is the true way. So yeah, we're gonna go through that. Yeah, probably you've heard about like some motivation teachers. They say what they think is correct, but no, I'm not gonna be that. I'm just gonna bring the riwayats, the ayats, the life of the Prophet, Ahlul Bayt, Sahaba, all of these things. All will be according to Islam and those who were accepted from the Prophet and Islam. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my pleasure. So yeah, we just gonna have just the introduction because first we should know what is the lifestyle, all of these things. Then we just started all things that we have to know. Like if you don't know the 2 + 2, you can't do the Pythagoras or something like that. Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, thank you. But first, I want to ask about the best form of kindness is self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Forgive me if this is a silly question, just pop up in my mind.
No, it's all right.
let's say we do the kindness, self-sacrifice, but sometimes what if somebody or someone take advantage from it? What should we do?
If we have that answer for Imam Ali, because that was for Imam Ali, I'm just going to answer from Imam Ali. It's for Khomeini, if I'm not mistaken. He told Khomeini, be good to people if they don't understand it and if they stand against you. Just be good. Benefits people if they don't benefit you. Being a good person, it's not going to be just when they take advantage. Prophet was I can't be that like that. I'm just saying it what Islam said. So don't measure it with me. Yeah, Prophet Muhammad was a kind person, didn't harm anyone, was the kindest person. But those people in Mecca, in Medina, hated him, like threw stones, insulting him, mocking him, just making fun. But Prophet Muhammad didn't stop that. So the great thing, I'm saying it's very difficult to do that. Yeah, to keep being good. Like,
But sometimes it left the traumatic, so I done with it, and I'm not doing a good thing like that because I was hurt by someone, take advantage from me. Just how to deal with it.
what we have is in general, be good to people.
Mm.
Like, be good to people, be kind to people, be a nice person. But individually, when you are good to me, for example, he's good to me and he's doing good, but I'm not respectful. I'm not a grateful person. Sometimes I hate him, but he shouldn't stop being good. Like, he shouldn't like do bad things against me, but he can get his distance with me. Stay away from me. Maybe I'm just a bad person when you go outside, when you want to hang out. You don't need to hang out with me anymore. But it doesn't mean that you should be bad. Yeah, some people are bad or have bad influence on you. It doesn't mean to keep continuing being good. No, please, I want to be good to you. No, please come to my house. I want to treat you. No, that doesn't mean that. What we say is in general, people do not understand you're good, but doesn't mean to stop it.
Is it okay if I take jaga jarak? Distance, keep the distance because of it.
Yes,
That's
obviously.
okay.
If it's hurting you, it's harming you, obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Nowadays there are a lot of concern about quarter life crisis, especially for young people, maybe like me. Sometimes we do not know what we are looking for in this dunya. When do we chase the word? When do we chase the hereafter or deen? And sometimes we feel empty, neither happy or sad. I don't know what I feel. Am I happy or am I sad? I don't know. I don't know what I should do. I don't know with this dunya. So do you have any advice for it? And if I stressed over something or depressed over something, is it because the lack of faith?
No, it's not because of the lack of faith. For example, people came to Prophet Muhammad was crying for losing his son. And he was like crying, and people said, what does it mean? If it doesn't mean that you see a prophet, everyone die. So why are you crying for your son? Does it mean that you don't believe in God? You don't believe in dying? You don't believe? He said, no, I'm human. I have feeling. I have emotions. So when you get punched, you feel the hurt. You feel that some pain. You see it. You see that when you maybe someone put a knife inside you, you see the blood. So that's the effect. That's the real life. So it's not going to be not effective. Even like people, we have a hadith from Hazrat Zainab says, they said, did you see how God killed your brother, everyone? He said, Mara Itullah Jamila. But we had that, even Hazrat Zainab cried. It's the effect of life. I know it's all for God, but Do we have anything from Imam Hussein was not like without emotion? Okay, Hazrat Abbas died, no problem. No, it wasn't like that. It's the real life. It's going to affect us. We are human. We have a soul. We have hearts. Without that, it's not going to happen. If you feel something, sometimes we feel emptiness. So that's correct. But why not? For example, I said you should make a purpose for ourselves. We should look for something great for us, something going to benefit us. So after that, you're going to feel better. Like with the purpose of life, when we see life greater than what a materialist person see, we don't be sorry for small things. Like I got, for example, low score in my exam. I'm not going to be crying for that. Like my friend's not speaking to me anymore. Am I going to cry? Am I going to say, wow, why God did that to me? No. Just find another friend. Sometimes we just see the world higher than anything. We have many examples for that, that even in our situation, not the Prophet, not the Ahlul Bayt, even some great people, some ulama were like that. You see them, it was something very amazing. But we have, he mentioned a lot about Allama Tabatabai. We have a story about him. He was a great philosopher. When his wife passed away, he started crying. Cried a lot on her grave, anywhere. Most people say after a few weeks, because of her death, even Allama Tabatabai passed away. He couldn't accept it. Yeah, it's just because we are human, we have feelings. It's like natural to have that feelings.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Maybe when we feel depressed, something like we cannot accept this musibah.
Yes.
Maybe is it the sign of lack of not lack of decrease of iman?
When you go and blame God,
Okay.
when you blame, for example, the prophets, when you blame something metaphysics and you say that's not my problem, that's not natural, that's lack of the faith. For example, I'm not going for the dua, for example. I know it's that door, next room. I'm not going through that because I'm lazy. It doesn't mean I have a lack of faith. When I say, what's the purpose of the dua? That's the lack of the faith. Some people are like crying, being sometimes mad, but that's the real life. That's a natural thing. But that's a hard time. For example, when you get the musibah, sometimes they say even when you blame a prophet, when you blame God, it doesn't mean that you are actually blaming them. You are like desperate. You can't think actually. You just say what comes to your mind. You're going to blame, for example, your president. For what reason? Did he do anything bad to you? No. I just want to become calm, so I just blame someone. For when you want to say, if you continue that in a long time, yes, that's going to be lack of faith. But at the moment, maybe it's because of their strong soul, strong spirit that will change people. Like some people don't blame anyone. They don't become like ungrateful, grateful. They will be grateful even at that moment. It depends on their spirit. So if they have a strong, they're going to stay strong. Even they, like Allama Tabatabai passed away because of his wife. But he stood strong, didn't blame anyone, didn't just say, because he was really related and loved her wife. He was really laying on her. That happens. Doesn't mean the lack of the faith.
Other question?
No.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How we deal with someone that's so-called Islam, like the Salafis, that judging us as a Shia, that they don't believe intercession and they call us kuffar, something like that. Because
Sometimes,
it's general in Indonesia is a majority, the Sunnis. It's all happening.
sometimes they don't know, so you can just tell them. Like I had someone came to me and started asking some questions to me. Like he was studied in Pesantra. He was studied for a few years and asked me, started asking, what does Shia do? It shows how he's unknowledgeable. He doesn't know anything. He said, do you believe that there is no God and your God is that person? I said, no. Do you pray? He said, yes, I pray. Do you believe in prophet as a prophet? Do you believe that Jibreel cheated? No, I don't. I believe in prophet. Do you believe I'm a Muslim? Yeah, I do. I believe you're a Muslim. Do you curse other Muslims? No, I don't, for example.
So just
Really?
give them
Sometimes
understanding.
it's because they don't know it. Sometimes they're against you. There's no way. You should be good, not sometimes responding and saving yourself. Like, for example, even Prophet Muhammad, some people didn't become his follower. Even he was a prophet, he had a miracle. What can we do? Can we change everyone? No, we can't. Many bad things happen in Islam, like we have said in Islam, I don't know what was one of those who in Banu al-Abbas who killed 70,000 of Sadat. He just slaughtered them, got their head. Can you change them? No, I can't. Those people who don't know, we just tell them, show them that that's not the true what you think. They said, like, you have a different Quran. Some people might ask that. Well, I said, if you find one single word different with your book, I'm going to change my religion. I'm going to change it. Even one single word. Sometimes it's for that. Like some of my friends in Indonesia last year that I came here, they weren't my friends. They were like saying, these people are not real Muslims. But nowadays they are my friends. Sometimes they call me to go out. So I'm saying, I'm not free. Sorry. But sometimes, yeah. And sometimes when you can't do anything, it's out of your hands. Just ask God to help them. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Our friend in Zoom, no question. If no, okay. Yeah. Oh no. Alasan dan semuanya. Oh ya. Saya tutup. Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, we will continue on Tuesday. Islamic thought. It will be related with our friend's question, Mr. PWT, about al-adalah. Inshallah in Islamic thought also will be explained next. Inshallah will be continue on Tuesday in the same time. Thank you very much. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hari Selasa Pak, ya jam 5 insyaallah. Tiap Selasa dan Kamis.
Oke, baik.
Terima
Pak.
kasih atas
Ya,
partisipasinya.
baik, terima
Pak Zainab,
kasih.
Mbak Hamid dan lain-lain. Selasa, Kamis, insyaallah reguler. Teman-temannya diajak. Makasih banyak.
Izin live ya Pak ya. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.